I don't listen to the music they play nowadays.
You don't?
I honestly don't like, and that's just my preference. I'm putting out like one more album to close it. Yeah. All eyes on me. Prezzo. You better act like you know.
Prezzo. What's up, everybody? My name is Lilesh and welcome to yet another episode of Tuko Extra. Now today I'm chilling with the president himself. I swear to God, I'm not saying it just because, but you don't have wrinkles, you have nothing, and I've just told you I interviewed you when you were 40.
Kabisa ni.
Actually, you were just the same. You can just say hi to people, just get people in the mood.
What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Rap Excellency CMB Prezzo, and yeah, I'm kicking it with Lily, aka the president. We're in the building.
All right.
What's good?
I'm good. How are you?
Easy.
Genuinely. Don't tell me easy. Genuinely, how are we doing, sir?
Genuinely, everything's good, honestly. Like, even when I was driving here, I told Madi, like, when we're in the car, I told him, like, I'm in such a good space.
Oh.
No lie, if I'm lying, I'm dying. So I told him I'm in such a good space, and he was like, oh, for real? I told him, yeah. So I really am in a good space.
It's nice to hear someone in Kenya saying you're in a good space. I feel like we're going through so much.
Yeah.
But if you're in that good space, it's important for you.
Yeah, for sure. You see, at the end of the day, right, even if we have something, say, on the table, like if we have a problem on the table, if we stress ourselves, it's not going to solve the situation on the table. And thank you for, the compliment. That's the reason why your boy doesn't age, Like, I age, yes, but I age gracefully because I don't give myself unnecessary pressure. Like, nikiona kwamba maji yamemwagika na siwezi kuyazoa, then I try and look for a solution. And that way, you give yourself a peace of mind. And that's the same advice I try to give to my mother as well. I tell her, man, where you're at, you just relax, Don't be hyper, don't be stressed about anything.
Just chill.
Just chill. So to anybody who's listening and who's watching, if you can implement the same, and you'll come to realize it's not that bad after all.
Okay, I think that's advice for me too, because where life has been kinani ramba. But, yeah, I think the first thing we'll talk about is your podcast. When last we spoke, we were speaking about it, and I'm so glad that episodes are going on. And they're very interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Very, very interesting. I listened to, I think, 2 or 1.5. And I really did like it. So how's that going? Why did you decide to venture into that side?
You see, the Gen Zs, right? I feel like they need some sort of guidance, and who better to guide them than us people who have been there before. You see, the level where Prezzo's at right now, I'm not in a level whereby I can compete like in the industry. I already earned my stripes, you see, and I just felt like these youngins need like some form of direction. So
you genuinely feel like, the word syllabus is so strong. Syllabus is like even what we did in school.
For sure.
So that means you feel like you have done enough for it to be put like this, and you can learn from it.
I have, if you look at the back of this syllabus of life, honestly, it's only that I didn't put Prezzo. I put my government names. You'll see Jackson, Ngechu, Makini. So I know that syllabus like the back of my hand. And it's always better like to hear it from somebody who's been through it before. So I think like I use syllabus of life because I feel like I'm in a better position to navigate this Gen Zs.
People look at people and they're like, these are bad guys. But
yeah.
If you sit down with these guys, they're such sweethearts.
Yeah.
Just like, no, that's not who they are. It's just for the gram.
It's just for the gram.
It's just for the gram.
But I think mine is a bit different though. But don't tell anybody.
How is it different?
You see, nowadays I'm much more relaxed because my age wouldn't allow me. But when I started, Prezzo was all over the place. When I started, you know, like I meet people nowadays and they tell me, they're like, Prezzo, you're so chilled, you know. And I'm like, man, you know, like I outgrew those years. You know, like in life, it's all about progression. So they cannot expect me to be the same Prezzo that came into the scene na hizo fujo zote. Ai lili niamini maze hii industry nilichafua mbaya.
I mean, I could tell. I was young,
Yeah.
but I could still tell. Even when I told people I'm interviewing Prezzo, like, wow, that guy was saying, unajua those days. I'm like,
Yeah. So siku hizi ukiona nimetulia, people just have to realize that, you know, like in life, you always have to have progression. And that's why you see, like, I feel like I'm in the right state of mind to hold a podcast like Syllabus of Life, you know. But, you know, even when you listen to the name, it sounds pretty dope. And we have like the merchandise, which when they come out, you know, I promise you, I'll get you and Kevo one.
Definitely. Right? We'll be working around that. For anything for Prezzo. Prezzo is a guy, like I told you, and you didn't even sumbua me. It was just like, yeah, okay, for sure.
But you also, let me give you your flowers. You have a clean heart too, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, like, ladies and gentlemen, I was like a little bit late and I was thinking Lily's gonna kill me. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'll just come the first time I see her, I just go like, hi, give me a hug. Yeah. But you know, you were pretty cool.
Like, yeah. I mean,
and I appreciate that.
I understand sometimes it's not your fault. I mean, time is, you know, yeah. But yeah, I like what you're talking about and how you're just speaking that there's so much growth for you. Yeah. And I'm happy for that because I feel like this generation, even myself, I'm not Gen Z, I'm a millennial, but I also feel like there's so much you can teach us and there's so much you can teach people here. You were talking about how for you in your time of ulikuja na fujo, that you've called it fujo, ulikuja na fujo, but this time, this generation of now of celebrities and artists, it's a bit different. I don't know. I mean, even other than you just speaking about your life, do you feel like you should also try and educate people in terms of music, in terms of showbiz? Because the showbiz now is so boring.
Yeah, that's exactly my motive. My motive is not just to like. Actually, I would use my own life experiences because you see, like. I was in the industry, okay, from the beginning, like we're the pioneers, we're the freedom fighters of this industry. So I know the do's and don'ts of the industry too, in the sense that, you know, like people have to account for their money because when you're young, like if I speak for myself, like I was just blowing cash, you know.
Mad.
Because I'm young, I'm making money, I'm famous. You see, so if you let things like those get into your head, then you'll slip up. And again, that's why I want to come in. And, you know, good thing about life is we have choices. For those who want to listen, they can listen. Whatever you don't want to listen to, you can save it. If you don't want to listen at all, you can choose not to listen. But then one day you'll come and realize that, oh, I should have listened, you know, so.
Okay. So you came back like a year ago and you said umekamba and that video was really nice. But then a year later, bro, what happened? We thought you were back in the music.
Yeah, I was back, but you know, to be honest with you, like, you know, music for me, right? And this is God's honest truth. Music for me is not something that should be forced. You know what I'm saying? Like, music for me, like, I'm passionate about music since I was shoe-eyed, you see. But then there's sometimes where you get mind block, you know, and the reason why I get mind block is because I don't listen to the music they play nowadays.
You don't?
I honestly don't, like, and that's just my preference, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I feel, you know, if you compare, like, our era, this is how I know times are moving, because it's not that I don't like rap music, but it's just that the rap music now has changed. And so for me, you know, like when I listen to that for motivation, I wasn't really getting any motivation. So lately what I've been doing is I've been listening to like a couple of, you know, rappers recently, like J. Cole, and then I go back now to the archives just to get motivation and inspiration.
Is it working?
Yeah, so far so good. That's why you see when you ask me how I'm doing, I told you I'm doing, I'm in a good space because I'm getting that motivation. And you see my brother who came to say hi, he's also like pushing me with that motivation. So I'm in a good space. And at the end of the day, I never told anybody this, but you'll be the first one to know. So I'm putting out like one more album, you know, one more album and
Close it.
to close it, yeah.
Damn.
But you know, it's gonna be sick, you know. Reason being, like, I have too much, you know. I have these Gen Zs and the millennials, and you know, it's not easy being a president. But you know, like when I did my fans, I said, mafans mi nawapenda wote na autograph nitasign siku zote na washukuru walioni hold down na kwa hii rap game sitawa let down. Yeah.
And you promised.
And I promised. So, you know, I have to keep to that promise. And, you know, I think this is actually going to be one of the best projects this year.
By yourself, or are you including collaboration?
No, I'm going to include collaborations. You know, I've not like finalized it, but I'm going to include collaborations. Definitely. East Africa, for sure.
East Africa. I love it for you.
Yeah.
I hope you guys do like the oldies. I genuinely miss that.
That's actually what I'm planning to do.
Oh, then that's going to be a lit one.
Yeah, in like, say, in Uganda, I get Chameleon. You know, in Tanzania, I get AY and Mone Fake.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, we just vibe because we started this journey together. For me, I've been under no pressure to do anything. Like akia Mungu, mi sinaga pressure kabisa. And even Matrax was telling me, like, bro, nothing moves you, right? I'm just like, see.
You've been through so much.
Come on. You know, so nothing puts me under pressure. And like I said before, it's not that I never tried. I've been trying going to the studio, but then there was just no motivation whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I hate to try and force things because then it's just not me.
But it's good. I mean, even you're not trying to stay relevant in the wrong way.
No.
You're trying to stay relevant in the right way.
Straight up and down.
Yeah.
You know, like, right now, you know, like, umri haizi kuniruhusu. You know, so I try and keep away from trouble as much as I can. I try and mind my own business as much as I can. And just, you know, take it one step at a time.
So I know you've done two very intense interviews. The one, of course, with CTA and the one with Ketirira. Those were very intense because you were very out and open. And there's one thing I heard you say is that people could now listen to you and stop judging you from what we see or hear from other people.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that has changed now? Do you feel like we've accepted this sweet Prezzo and not somebody who used to say he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Because there was a lot of hate back then.
Yeah, honestly, you know, I couldn't care less.
I love it.
I couldn't care less. Reason being, like, you know, if somebody decides to judge a book by its cover, right? I'm not obligated to explain to them, like, no, guys, listen, this is me. You know, like, I've been with them since 2004. Let me tell you, Lily, since 2004, right? They said that Prezzo is on drugs, Prezzo is on cocaine, Prezzo is on da-da-da-da-da. So me, you know, like, the truth, I knew the truth, so you never used to hurt me, okay? But then they kept saying it, and you know, like, if you say a lie too many times,
it becomes the truth.
You end up believing in the lie. So even the people who were saying this, because the media would say, the fans would consume it, and then now, every time, you know, like, people would always look at me like, oh, this guy is high.
He's high.
Okay? But then tell me, which kind of person who uses drugs, right, to that extent, will still be here and without being into a rehabilitation center?
Especially, I mean, they're the drugs, but if people are saying, because I remember those stories about coke. Coke is hard.
If, for example, not even just coke, like, you see, there are people who go to rehab because of weed.
Yeah.
There are people who go to rehab because of alcohol, you know, but I've never been to rehab before. And if I was in rehab, then it would break the news, you know. I'm the same person who represented this country in Big Brother. I stayed in that house for 3 months, right? So if I was a junkie, as they portray me to be, I wouldn't have lasted those 3 months, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, I believe like the truth comes out, and that's why, like, when you asked me that question, I said I couldn't care less, because, man, you know, like, mi na shida zangu nisikize zako kwa nini, you know.
Okay. So, Prezzo, you know, also the other thing is you call yourself president a lot, and we respect that because you are, I mean, there's so much you've done. So we could equally just give you the title, Prezzo, take it.
Asante.
So we've heard from back then you've been a rich guy, Are you still rich?
Man, I'm rich at heart, you know.
Be real, Prezzo, come on, what's your inspiration?
I'm rich at
like
heart.
The reality.
I'm rich at heart, you know, to be honest with you. And you know, in Swahili there's a saying that says, kizuri kinajiuza, kibaya kinajitembeza. So you, from your eyes, you know, you should be able to tell. Unajua, leave alone, like, if the cameras were running, let's say like we're in a club or something, and then a president just strolls in, you'd be like, God damn. Who's that yellow, mellow, rangi ya thao?
Rangi tao. I would say that because I know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm asking this because there's so many people who, one, as I was saying, you need to speak to this generation of artists and celebrities and famous people, because there's a lot of fakeness in it. There's a lot of, I have this, and this, and then when you dig deep, there's nothing. Or you hear this person was living their best life, and then now there's a pay bill we need to changia because
It's
of
true.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we've not seen that happen to you. We've not seen you asking us for money. We've not seen, I mean, you're still rocking the chains and the everything. So maybe it is that there's still money, or, I mean, that's what I'm trying to ask. Like, are you still deep in the monies?
I'm still heavy in the money. I thank God for that, you know. I thank God for that. And then, you know, like, again, it disturbs me how people are shallow-minded, because you see, the press that I was in 2004, you know, damu yake ilikuwa inachemka, unaona. I cannot be the same press, you know, with the, like, I don't sag my pants anymore.
Time is up.
Time is up, you know. Like, some things, you know, you just go with the flow. Hata wewe mwenyewe unajua ukivaa, alafu ujiangalie, alafu suruali ziko chini. Something is amiss, you know. So back in the day, I used to rock a lot of jewelry because my age. I used to rock earrings because of my age. My shimos are still there.
Oh, okay.
You understand? But I just don't do it because I go with the flow. Like, I do what my heart tells me to do. So when I look at my pants down here, and then I see my younger brother also has pants down here, I'm like, I
need to do something.
Yeah, you know, so I don't rock as much jewelry, I don't sag my pants, I don't wear studs. That doesn't mean that, you know, like, Prezzo is down or Prezzo is low, but it's just that, you know, Prezzo is just moving on with the times, you know.
Prezzo, again, one thing is that your term, quote-unquote, ladies man, you know, you're a sweetheart, and ladies are like, oh my God, oh yeah, and you're also very charming to the ladies too.
For real, where did you get that from?
It's things I've seen and we've read. We've read them and we've seen them, including even, not many months ago, I think it was February, you did a proposal. I'm not sure how real or fake that was. I don't know where it stands as of now. How is that going? It was just for the gram?
It was just, you know, to changamsha the industry kidogo, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, you see, like, I do what I do when I want to do it, because I'm the president. Wapende wasipende, unaelewa? And at the end of the day, I got them talking, right?
We talked.
Yeah.
We really did talk.
Yo, you know, like, I was going home and a couple of my neighbors were telling me, congrats, bro. And my neighbors, I don't know them very well, unaelewa? So I'm like, thanks. Like, we're happy for you. You know, when's the big day? I'm like, ask no questions and I'll tell no lie. You know, but ilikuwa kuchangamsha industry, and at the end of the day, you know, like, sometimes every once in a while, you have to tell them to hold their horses and let them know who the boss is, you know. So hiyo Valentine nzima mshikaji wangu mimi ndio nilikuwa topic. People were having dinner, you know, on Valentine's Day. They're like, umesikia Prezzo? So, you see what I did there? So, I was biting my tongue that night, you know.
Ulijuma sana, watu walikutaja sana.
Mbaya.
But isn't that what you're trying to kill? We're really trying to kill this quote-unquote clout chasing in this industry.
It's not, you see, that was like Valentine's, and the industry had been stagnant for a very long time. You know what I mean? Like, ilikuwa tu. And I said, why not? You know what I'm saying? And Aziz is a good friend of mine, so she was a good sport. Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
I like that. Honestly, I like the chill that you are, because again, as I say, when I interviewed you back then, well, first of all, it was in a club because we were celebrating your birthday. You popped so much champagne. And you know, like that, and I'm just looking at you and I'm like, is this the guy? I'm like, are you okay? That's why I asked you, are you okay? Because that's not who we are used to.
No,
so
now
people need to check it.
I have a, and thanks for checking out, but I have a clearly good reason for that, you know, that night, that is. See, that night, right, a little bird whispered in my ear and told me life begins at 40.
That's what you said.
So I was like, okay, this so if you believe, yo, come on, I'm like, welcome, you know, I'm here. So, and then, you know, like, because I was now getting to the 4th floor, so you can imagine the excitement. It's like, you know, you turning 18, you know, and you're saying like, okay, now I'm legal, I can get an ID. So it was the same kind of feeling for me. But then you see, like, it went like this, and then you get used to it, and then now you're just airborne, and you're just more focused and, you know, more relaxed, you know, like less pressure, zero pressure. Minimum pressure, kabisa.
Minimum. Clearly, you're just chill, and I like it. It's very nice. Kabisa. I think I'd ask you one thing or two things, maybe.
Let's make it 3.
Let's make it 3. Got it. So, I mean, I won't ask you what you now like about the Prezzo because you've said it so much. But what do you feel like being Prezzo is one thing that you did not like about it? Up to now, like from ever since you came out and said CMB Prezzo and up to now.
Well, to be honest with you, you know, me, I embraced this. I embraced it with all my heart. You know why? When I came into the industry, there was no industry. You see, so for me, it seemed impossible, you know, and it honestly seemed like, how can I become a star whereby there's no even...
There's nothing.
There's nothing, So, you know, I used to pray every day, you know, like, I'm like, yo, like God used to know, even if I don't pray, the guy just used to know what's running in my head. And so when it came to me, people say, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it.
And maybe you're not even ready for it.
Unaelewa? But when it came to me, I embraced it. Honestly, you know, like to the question that you asked me, there is no regrets. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I walk down the road, you know, like my fan base is there, you know, like, I don't know, I just have this star in me, you know. We should walk around with you someday.
I should. I need that star. I've told you, maisha imekuwa kiniramba. I need to have that rubbed off on me, that energy. I need it to just be like...
You know, so this, I embrace it to the core up until this day, you know. One thing I'm very grateful for is everywhere I go, you know, like, my presence is felt. Everywhere I go, you know, and whenever people approach me, you know, I embrace it. There could be even 100 people, I won't show like I'm tired or anything, you know what I mean? And a couple of my other peers back in the day never used to embrace their fans. I'm the guy who even sang for my fans. So I took every high and every low as it came because I knew that this is what comes with the package. You see, like people think life is a bed of roses, but when you stand like from a mile high and you look down into a bed of roses, if you fall into that bed of roses, the roses have thorns. So the thorns will pick you, so you have to be prepared for it. Kwa hiyo kwangu mimi mazee, mimi nashukuru Mungu because this is what I asked for, this is what he gave me, and I'll be a very ungrateful son to him if I showed him like ati sasa watu mbona ama mbona wananiongea ama mbona wanani misunderstand. Because man, this is what I asked for, and you see in this business I came in knowing that good or bad publicity is still publicity. Yeah.
Okay. It's been a year since we elected our people, and in last year you also wanted to get into the government seat, and I mean it didn't work out. But what do you feel like if you did a year now? What would you have done that has not been done? Because we are still complaining a year later. Things are not, easy for us. We're still complaining. We're still saying, oh my God, in every area, from president to the lowest. I think the lowest is MCA. Yeah,
MCA.
Yeah, what do you feel like you would have done if you got in there that would have changed so much in a year?
See, my basic plan was, right, the bad thing with our politicians, right, they forget too fast. They come in and they sweet talk you. When you're marking on a lady, and you tell this lady everything she wants to hear, and maybe your main objective is just to smash and keep it moving. And if you put your cards on the table and said, yo, what's good, me, I want to smash. And then the lady says, okay, cool, I want to smash too. There'll be no strings attached. Yeah. But then you see, if you tell this lady that I love you, just for you to smash, and then after you smash, you leave her. Yeah, that's what the politicians do to Kenyans. They'll come, they'll tell Kenyans anything that they want to hear, and then once they get into their respective seats, then they forget what they promised as Kenyans. Now, my initial plan was, and still is, right, even before I got into politics, I was building affordable houses in Kibra. I do a lot of youth empowerment programs in Vihiga, in Western countries, you understand? So I would have looked for resources. Forget the CDF that they're talking about. I would have, like when you treat a project like it's your own, then you go through extra measures.
Are you still going to vie again?
Man, I believe I was put in this world for a reason. And I believe, like me, I'm a natural born leader. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks of me. I know, you know what I'm saying? And my records also show that I'm a natural born leader. That's why I'm at peace with myself, man. No rush. And with a name like Prezzo, you can't blame me.
Okay, the final segment of your life I think I'll ask is about your relationships. How are you carrying on with are you dating? Are you engaged secretly, married secretly, and you don't know?
No, I chose to put that aside because I've kissed too many frogs, Literally. And I said, hey, wangapi mother. Yeah, and then also, I'm at a point in my life right now, Lily, like all that, man, I've been there, I've done that.
You don't want companionship?
No, I'm easy the way I am.
Kitakuramba ukifika uko 55.
Let me tell you something, right? And I say this with all due respect, my sister. With men, it's different, With men, we don't have a time limit. With men, our time limit is our pockets and our time limit ya kwenda. Unaelewa? Because a man can be 80 years old and can date a 20-year-old. As long as the guy has cash, even the family will be pushing the 20-year-old to the buka, Well, unafanya si uende kwa bana. Unaelewa? Because the guy has money. And for women, it's different. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the harsh reality of life. So for me, I'm just focusing on the money, and then once we're done, then I won't go 20, I'll say 25.
Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
You better be.
Kidding.
Those girls sumbua you. Gen Z is another generation. They're so excited.
Nitapata ugonjwa ya roho.
I swear. Okay, so what do you want to tell us as we wrap up the interview? It's been so much positive energy, I swear. On a Saturday.
For sure, I appreciate that.
I'm not even going to go out. I'm just feeling like I need to go and tell God. Cheki God, najua nimekuwa missing lakini.
No, honestly, Sina mengi ya kusema. I just want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate anybody who's watching. I want you guys to check out SOL. You know, SOL is something that's going to be fruitful to anybody watching. You know, like, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Don't stress yourself over spilled milk, kabisa. And then you'll see things will come into flow. I'm sure, you know, there are instances whereby you got into a situation and you're like, okay, Lily, how the hell are you going to get out of this? You felt like you're stuck between a hard wall and a brick stone, you know. But somehow, some way, you got out of it, and then you forgot even about it, to the extent whereby when you think about it, you just laugh it off. You're like, hey, you know. It's never that serious.
Thank you so much, Prezzo, for just giving us this time.
Anytime.
For being, you know, not saying you're not answering any question. I appreciate that.
For sure. I appreciate you. Yeah. And, you know, can I just bust your bubble?
Bust it.
You know, remember what we talked about earlier on in our conversation? And I told you, man, whenever you're doing your job, do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
You know, I would never take anything personal from you, because I know that you're just doing your job. You should never shy away from asking people questions, because once you befriend people, then you won't perform the way your bosses want you to. And you won't elevate to where you want to elevate to. So at the end of the day, you know, even if I have something against you, I say, interview, just tell me, hey, I was doing my job, bro.
Ni kazi.
Kwa ufupi, usichague kazi ni. You feel me? But it's all out of love, though. Also,
yeah, I can't wait for that album, honestly. Like, that I think will excite me so much. You guys need to also just, I don't know who will do it amongst you guys. One of you come and say, we're doing a concert. There was one we did, but didn't have a lot of you guys.
Yeah.
But I feel like, mkikuja tu nyote, I swear you guys will make so much money and it'll make us so happy.
Let me not lie to you, like, it's something that is very workable and it's very possible. Because you see, as much as, you know, people can say, okay, the Gen Zs and the millennials, it doesn't matter, because, you know, like, some of those younger people vibe to this old music.
Yeah. Right?
And even if they don't vibe to this old music, then wale mafans tulianza now in 2004. Bado unaelewa, so there's no way, like, supply and demand is there. Unaelewa, so just like any other business, I don't see it going wrong. All we just need to do is just join forces and, you know, like, be on the same page and same paragraph. And it'll happen, you know, and I hope so. It's going to be crazy. I look forward to it as well. It
will be so mad. I'm not like, that concert that was done, we were actually made. I can imagine if all of you decide, because we still listen to your songs, even in the club. My boss should not hear this. I go to the club a lot. And every time it's time for, we've sung this new music, yes, but when it comes to the old school, we are screaming, we are so excited.
Yeah, you know, like, actually, even same thing with me. Like, you know, not just at Prezzo, you know, put Prezzo aside from this for a second. I would listen to, like, the old songs like Ogopa, Caliph, you know, and I'm like, yo.
Songs are lit.
Yeah, you know, like, on the real, so you can imagine, like, how the fans would feel. And then, you know, like, when you're in a concert, there's just that vibe, you know.
Because you're feeling it.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
I mean, I can't wait for that. But also your album, we can't wait for it. Call us when you're launching it. We'll be there for you.
Definitely, Lily. You're my people.
Can.
For sure, most definitely.
All right. So, guys, thank you very much. Thank you again, Prezzo, for having us here.
Thank you for having me.
All the best in your syllabus of life.
Asante.
You're teaching us a lot. Keep going. Bring in more and more knowledge from even other people like you're doing.
Absolutely.
We're here for it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for being with us throughout this whole episode. My name is Lily Aisha, and from the President and I, we say... bye.
Adios.